The fox did as he was told, sheepishly pushing himself off of the bed and standing up once more. With an almost menacing glint in her eye, Arya ripped open the bag of marshmallows with her teeth, pointing a finger at him and commanding once more. "All right, now turn around." His 3 tails bunching up nervously around his thighs, he complied. Khazad felt apprehensive as he turned his naked bottom towards her, knowing full well what was about to happen. "Bend over." Khazad whimpered, looking back at her as if to ask for mercy. The fox's icy gaze stared back at him expectantly as he stood, unwavering. Taking in a shaky breath, Khazad bent over and closed his eyes. He felt the female fox probing his behind, at first gently prodding and poking until she began to drive the marshmallows against his sphincter. He gasped, grimacing as the sweat began to gather on his brow as she continued to plunge marshmallow after marshmallow into his rear end. "Please, oh God, it feels. Ah." Kaz continued to let loose little whimpers and cries as marshmallow after marshmallow went into him, feeling surprisingly unfazed as Arya continued the ritual. "Hold still, or do you want me to add a spanking in addition to this?" The fox bit his lip, shaking his head side to side as his fists clenched the sheets on Arya's bed. At last, Arya tossed the empty bag onto the bed. Kaz stared at it bug-eyed, unable to believe that she had actually managed to shove an entire bag's worth of marshmallows into his asshole. He felt a dull ache in his lower abdominal region, yet besides a feeling of bloatedness near his stomach, he could not feel any desperation to release that his bottom undoubtedly needed to go through. "Man. This might be the only time the curse has come in handy. I don't actually feel the need to go. Now then, let's get the baby all diapered up again so he can fill his pants, shall we?" In a brutally teasing tone, Arya pulled the diaper up against his bottom, leaning around him to fasten up the tapes. The locked symbols appeared once more, indicating that only Arya would be able to take them off again before the 24-hour period was up. Arya continued to command him with impunity. "Now then, I want you to squat down and tell me what a pathetic little baby you are and how much you need your diapers to protect you from accidents. Now." Khazad shakily bent his knees, feeling apprehensive as he began to feel a passion grow in the front of his pants. He could not help but feel slightly aroused by the situation he was in, as much as he disliked being at Arya's complete and utter mercy. Like the little bitch that Arya now considered him to be, he knelt down in front of the bed and squatted. He whimpered, his cheeks flushed with red as he managed to stutter. I am a pathetic little baby. And I need my diapers to protect Dash." He was cut off by his rear end letting out a large splort, as the shifting in his position caused his bottom to release all of the stuffing Arya had put into him. He felt the coagulated sugar thunder out into the seat of his diapers, ballooning the diaper out to a near-comical extent as he continued to vacate his large intestine. His regular inability to feel any warning of the need to go number 2 was still at play as his cheeks burned, feeling as though he would not be able to live down the moment of pooping out marshmallows in front of his former workplace crush. I am. He continued to speak, his mind in a haze of relief and exhaustion as he slumped forward on the bed, suddenly feeling tired from the ordeal. He could feel his behind completely caked in the marshmallow enema, most likely giving his behind the appearance of surgical augmentation. "You look like an oversized toddler who's determined to fail potty training. How pathetic. And I got it all on camera too." Feeling weak, Khazad turned his head around to look at Arya. Her phone was held up in one paw, as the other was held against her cheek. Arya grinned, a sadistic smile that did not reach her eyes as she zoomed in on Khaz's face, switching the camera view between that and his swollen behind. "What a messy little kit we have on our hands. This will ensure that you continue to do each and everything single thing I say down to the letter. We would not want this circulating back at the workshop now, would we?" Khazad let his head fall onto the mattress face first, heaving a sigh of exhaustion and frustration. He felt utterly helpless, pathetic, and almost angry enough to start crying. This just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?